3 weeks ago, I signed away everything, our 5-bedroom house, both cars, the company. My lawyer begged me not to. My mother-in-law smirked from the gallery. And Brittany, my husband's 27-year-old mistress, took a selfie right there in the courtroom. Vincent, the man I thought I'd spend my life with, smiled like he'd just won the lottery. But that smile vanished exactly 47 seconds later when his lawyer read the final clause of our agreement. To understand how we got here, let me take you back 3 years, to the night I opened the wrong drawer in Vincent's office. From the outside, we had everything: a sprawling colonial in Houston, luxury cars, dinner parties where Vincent played host while I refilled glasses. But behind the locked doors of his office, the empire was crumbling. I found envelopes stamped final notice. Loans past due. Properties underwater. Over $2 million in debt. My husband's empire was built on sand. That night, I photographed every document, time-stamped each one, and put them back exactly as I found them. I didn't sleep, but I wasn't afraid anymore. I was calculating. What I discovered next wasn't just debt, it was fraud. The deeper I dug, the uglier the truth became. Vincent hadn't just buried us in debt, he'd dragged my name into it. 2 loans carried both our signatures, except I had never signed them. My accountant's eye caught the forgery instantly. Rachel, my college roommate who now worked at a regional bank, confirmed it. "Diana, this is fraud. You could report him." I didn't report him. Not yet. Instead, I started building my own safety net. I opened a secret savings account at a bank Vincent had no ties to. Every month, I funneled what I could from my part-time work. $200 here, $300 there. I documented everything: emails, statements, contracts. 3 years of quiet preparation. Meanwhile, Vincent grew careless. He came home smelling faintly of perfume that wasn't mine. He deleted browsing history, changed passwords, made calls from the garage. Then came the texts: "Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Wear the blue tie." The mistress had a name: Brittany. The first time I met her, Vincent introduced her at his mother's birthday dinner. She sat in my chair, wearing a knockoff designer bag and a practiced smile. Evelyn, my mother-in-law, beamed with approval. "Vincent finally found someone with ambition," she said, while I was sent to fetch appetizers. Tyler, our son, whispered, "Mommy, who is that lady?" I told him, "She's nobody important." But Brittany wasn't the real threat. She was just a symptom. The real danger was Vincent, arrogant, reckless, and drowning in debt he thought no one else could see. When Vincent finally demanded a divorce, he thought he was taking everything. 6 months before the final hearing, Vincent sat me down at our dining table and delivered the news like a business memo. I want a divorce. No apology, no explanation, just 5 words. He wanted the house, the cars, the company, everything. And me. He shrugged. "You can keep Tyler. I'm not interested in custody battles." The kid would slow me down. That was the moment I saw him clearly. My son was a burden, not a blessing. And I was nothing worth fighting for. Vincent thought he was being generous. I thought he was handing me the perfect opportunity. His lawyer drafted a 52-page agreement. Page after page gave Vincent everything he demanded. But buried on page 47 was the clause Margaret and I had carefully placed: liability assumption. If Vincent took the assets, he also took the debts, every mortgage, every lien, every overdue loan. And on page 49, a waiver of independent financial review. He'd be signing away his future with his own arrogance. Vincent never read carefully. He believed he'd already won. His mother called me, warning not to embarrass the family. Brittany phoned, urging me to speed things along. Vincent emailed threats about delays. Every word documented, every pressure point strengthening my case. At a family meeting, Evelyn announced I'd agreed to Vincent's terms. Vincent smiled, smug, certain. I played the role they expected, the defeated wife. But Tyler's small face watching from the doorway reminded me why I was doing this. I wasn't surrendering. I was setting the stage. The night before the hearing, I reviewed the agreement one last time. Vincent thought tomorrow would be his victory. The morning of the hearing, I dropped Tyler off with Rachel and drove my old Honda to the courthouse. Vincent's Porsche was already parked outside. He'd arrived early, eager to claim his prize. Inside, he sat at the respondent's table, navy suit pressed, Rolex gleaming, mistress in the front row, mother beside her. To anyone watching, he looked untouchable. Margaret sat beside me, calm and prepared. The judge entered, papers shuffled, and Gerald Hoffman, Vincent's lawyer, began reading the agreement aloud. Vincent leaned back, smug, certain. He thought this was routine. He thought I was defeated. Then Gerald reached page 47. His voice faltered for half a second as he read the clause. All debts, liens, and liabilities attached to the marital assets shall be assumed solely by Mr. Saunders. Vincent didn't flinch. He wasn't listening. He was already smiling at Brittany, already imagining his victory. But Evelyn's face tightened. Gerald cleared his throat, glanced at Vincent, then continued. Page 49. Waiver of independent financial review. Vincent signed without hesitation, pen scratching across the paper like he was sealing his triumph. Exactly 47 seconds later, realization hit. His empire, his cars, his company, all of it came with $4.7 million in debt. He had demanded everything, and now he owned every liability. His smile collapsed. Brittany's phone slipped from her hand. Evelyn's composure cracked. I sat quietly, hands folded, sapphire ring glinting under the fluorescent lights. I hadn't raised my voice. I hadn't fought. I had simply given Vincent what he asked for. And in doing so, I gave him the one thing he never expected. Consequences. And here's the question I'll leave you with. If someone underestimated you so completely, would you let them win, or would you wait for the perfect moment to let their own arrogance destroy them?